McQuestion. For over 25 years, talking about things that matter with people who care. Production of McQuestion is made possible in part by individual viewers, supporters of the Foundation for Responsible Television, CF Accountants and Consultants, adding value to clients throughout the region, the University of Texas at Dallas, creating the future.
You know, ISIS, or the Islamic State, is a group you never heard of just a few years ago, yet you hear about them almost daily now. What exactly is ISIS? How did it come about? And what can or should be done, and by whom, are all questions we'll ask and answer on this program. So let's meet the experts. Starting by satellite from good old Skype from San Diego, is Saeed Dolabani. He's a Lebanese-American cultural economist, author, theorist, and consultant specializing in cultural change based on a value system approach. He's on the board of the Center for Human Emergence Middle East and author of this book, which is Memenomics, the Next Generation Economic System. Welcome back to the program, Saeed.
Thank you, Dennis. Nice to be with you.
Good to be back with you in just a few minutes. Here in the studio is Ambassador Robert Jordan, Bob Jordan, and he is, let's say, an interesting guy. He knew something about the Middle East before he was appointed ambassador to Saudi Arabia in 2001 to 2003. He was with Baker Botts at that time, and he's a guy who is, let's just say, still on the news all the time. And he wrote this book, which is called Desert Diplomat, Inside Saudi Arabia Following 9/11. You're an adjunct professor and distinguished person at the John G. Towers Center for Political Studies at SMU. Bob, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Dennis.
And last but certainly not least is our old friend Buck Revell. I keep calling him Buck Revell. And he's an award-winning 30-year veteran of the FBI, where he retired with the title of Associate Deputy Director. Today he heads his own international security consulting group, and he's chairman of the board of the Middle East Media Research Institute, where he's a frequent guest on major TV networks, as is Bob. So before I ask you about what ISIS is, Buck, I'm going to cut to a video clip of a guy named Fawaz Gerges. He was here in our studio in 2005. I asked him about what jihadism and Islamism and that sort of thing happened to be. Let's see what he had to say 11 years ago.
This is really a great question, because I think from its birth in the mid-1970s, jihadism was born in the mid-1970s in Egyptian universities. Jihadism was not born in the ghettos or the poverty belts of Muslim cities. It was born in the universities. It's a social movement. And since its birth in the 1970s until the late 1990s, the major goal of jihadism was on what I call the near enemy. The near enemy meaning local Arab and Muslim governments. They wanted to topple the existing Arab and Muslim governments and replace them with Islamic states. From its birth in the mid-1970s until the late 1990s, the focus was on the home front, not on the far enemy, the United States and its allies. And the question to me, you asked me earlier, why were you interested in this particular question? The question to me, why did the jihadists in the late 1990s decided to shift gears from local Arab and Muslim governments into the far enemy, the United States and its Western allies? This is really the question that preoccupied me in the last 7 or 8 years. I wanted to understand why jihadists turned their guns against the United States of America. And I think there are 3 reasons why jihadists decided to target the United States in the late 1990s.
Good. I don't know about you and that viewer, but we're all ears, so tell us.
The first question, Dennis, is that jihadists, those activists who wanted to topple the existing secular governments and establish Islamic states, were defeated on their home front in the late 1990s. In Egypt, in Algeria, the backbone of the jihadist movement was basically broken by the existing governments. The second reason, as you know, the Afghanistan War from 1979 to 1989 created a major contingent of activists, of fighters, of the so-called Afghan Arabs who felt empowered, emboldened by the victory over the evil empire being the Soviet Union. And remember, throughout the 1980s, we, the United States, and the jihadists were on the same trenches. We were fighting the evil empire. But the jihadists said to themselves, look, if we can defeat the Soviet Union, the greatest military force in the world, surely we can take on the United States of America. America did not have the